of power is what some may call this contest, but here at the Pontello Broadcasting Network, we might call this our game of the year. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just call it what it is. Game 4's game of the week here on the fall 2019 over 50 hockey season. And we have ourselves a battle of top two teams in the league as the Blue Bombers, the only remaining perfect team outright, taking on the Black Aces, coming off of that shootout loss to the Grey Wolves. And we have ourselves an interesting matchup that will be very entertaining for all of us to see. Hi everybody, Angelo Pontello bringing you the broadcast action. Joining me as always, my co-partner, Andy Townsend. And Andy, when we look at this game, there's so many storylines we can begin, but where to begin? Oh, you got that right, Angelo. You got two teams that are very strong. You got two teams that are very well developed in that offensive category, and even from a defensive standpoint for the Blue Bombers, it's just one of those teams that just knows how to play together and really focuses on the pro defensive side. So can't wait to see how this defense for the Blue Bombers matches up with this offense for the Black Aces. Should be a real treat. And right there, of course, as we talk about offenses and matchups there, Angelo Pontello and Woody Borg is going to be the premier storyline of this game. You got two five-star players that know each other's company, but they definitely know each other's strengths and weaknesses. Oh, no doubt about that. And Woody Borg is one of those guys that goes end-to-end rushes. We start to see Pontello adapt his game a little bit to Woody Borg's style, so I definitely expect Pontello to be shadowing Borg throughout this entire game to shut him down essentially, and then that just leaves Hotley McDonald. And as you bring up McDonald, the second season player coming into the over 50 hockey league, already with 5 goals and 5 assists to his name to start out this season, coming off of that championship team from the Red Army, and lots to promote with McDonald. Well, it's gonna, my guess, Angelo, is Hotley McDonald is going to be the difference in this game if Pontello keeps shutting down Woody Borg. The Blue Bombers are gonna have to find a way to focus on McDonald, shut him down, don't give him an opportunity to get to the puck, and the rest will be history. And that'll pretty much be it for the pre-game report. But when we come back, obviously a lot more storylines to talk about throughout this game, as it's the Blue Bombers and the Black Aces on face-off out there the other side of this break. This is Over 50 Hockey's Game of the Week on the Pontello Broadcasting Network. Dave Collins and Matt are officials for today's game. Dante Denny, our scorekeeper for this Game of the Week matchup. As the puck has been dropped, let the festivities begin as Mitch Browser works his way quickly up to the other side. Angelo Pontello taking it away. Pontello on the move already, makes a nice move around McDonald, and here comes Pontello. Only Woody Borg back to beat. Pontello's shot fired, and Mark Barry's there for the stop, looking for the rebound effort, and Barry able to hang on to that puck as the Blue Bombers start right out of the gate, shooting and nothing holding back. Well, that's going to be the key for the Blue Bombers here today, is if they take care of business, that is how you're going to beat the Black Aces. This is a team that is going to come back hard. They find ways to score, but the Blue Bombers is trying to turn ship around. The Blue Bombers rank last in over 50 hockey when it comes to goals scored in the first period, with just 2 on the season, as they're looking to try to change that up here in this matchup, and in a must-needed situation where they can get all the goals they can get, because once Woody Borg rolls, the rest is history. And how many times have we seen Woody Borg with the puck just carrying it today? We'll see a whole lot more of this in the broadcast, but for now, it's the Blue Bombers that are having the momentum here, and it's going to be all that they can write here in this first period. Have to make sure they keep it away from Woody Borg and limit Hotley McDonald on the touches. Mike Rossi keeps it on the blue line, now has to go back to Sincata. Blue Bombers forced to regroup as they make a few substitutions in the process. This puck back to Browser, finds Woody Borg opposite corner, looking back the other way, finds Browser, gets it around Sincata, and here comes Browser trying to move things quickly back in the Blue Bomber corner. Lussman redirects it, looking for a man, intercepted by Chirico. Looking the other way to Lafriri. Lafriri open on the right side. He's got some room against Barry. Shot fired. And Barry looking to hold on to the puck. He does. 10-14 in the opening period. No score here in our game of the week. Blue Bombers, Black Aces here at the iSports Forum's North Rink in Brandon, Florida. As faceoff will take place deep in the Black Aces zone. Tom Buchholz and Keith Pace on the face. Check that. Arden Robbins takes the faceoff against Buchholz. Puck goes back in the corner. Robbins trying to clear it out. Stopped by Chirico. Back is to Pompos looking for the setup shot. Can't reach Pontello. Blue Bombers have to come back. As Pontello will gain some open ground. Finds Buchholz over center ice. Back is to Pompos in Black Ace zone. Fires a shot through the 5-hole. And Pompos is on the board. How about that? And that is going to be a killer here for the Blue Bombers. You cannot give up shots like that if you're Mark Berry. That is going to be a goal that's going to come back to haunt them later. So Brian Pompos coming up with his second goal of the season. Strikes first for the Blue Bombers, taking the 1-0 lead. This one comes back over to Pontello as he works quickly. Will take the shot himself right off of Berry. Gets back to Sincata. Blue Bombers trying to keep that perfect record going here in the fall 2019 season. Black Aces looking to come up with the equalizing goal after starting off with 21 total goals in the first 3 games of the season and over 50 hockey best thus far. Trying to turn it off or not, as icing has been called, taking it back into the Black Ace zone. Well, what's going to be really interesting about this matchup, Angelo, is already we can see the Blue Bombers, and again, it's tough to say because we just passed 2 minutes in this game, but if the Blue Bombers can continue to stop the Black Aces here, at least snuff them out, and force Woody Borg to take it himself and shut Woody Borg down, then who's going to step up for the Black Aces besides Hartley McDonald? Well, with Hartley, you know, usually, Andy, you see him take it by himself, try to find a way to keep it rolling. But, you know, not very often do we see Hartley McDonald get assisted by other players. So if he has that luxury, that could be a beneficial factor for him. Well, no doubt about it. But again, like I'm expecting to see, if it's going to be Hartley McDonald that has to step it up and take it on his shoulders, and that's exactly what he's going to need to do if Woody Borg gets shut down. And Borg on the right side, stripped loose by Pontello, takes it back over to Lafreri. And that was a big matchup. We had a chance to talk with the Blue Bombers executives earlier this week. What was going to be the key to shut down Woody Borg? And what they told me, Andy, was Angelo Pontello was going to have to spy on him all game. Well, that's what we were talking about in the pregame report, and I figured you were going to assume that where it was going to be Angelo Pontello cancels out Woody Borg, and then it's Hartley McDonald that has to step up against the rest of the Blue Bombers team. And who knows, maybe another Blue Bomber or Black Ace member will step it up for their squad here. You never know. It's any given Sunday, and that's the beauty of over 50 hockey. Pompos pass just out of the reach of Rossi, and this one's going to go back for an icing call. Black Aces with 10 players in attendance, 8 players for the Blue Bombers. So you know depth is going to be a factor here, Andy. Well, of course, when you look at right now on the peripheral view with who's on the bench, you know, you're missing key players like Steph Pettit, who would be a great defenseman right now in this game to step up for them. And you're also missing Bob Phillips as well, who just joined the team last week. And for undisclosed reasons, not exactly sure if he just happened to be missing or if he's recovering from injury. But, you know, you got 2 phenomenal players that you could need right now if you're the Blue Bombers, but that's where you have to step it up and you have to play hard. Well, Tom Buchholz didn't know what he was picking when draft time came as the draft captain, making sure that he acknowledged every situation, offense or defensively, and knew that he had to be prepared for those situations, that there were going to be weeks that they were going to be shorthanded. As is every over 50 hockey game, Angelo. That's what you have to anticipate. If you have players missing, who's going to step it up? Pace backhands this one off a rebound chance. Hilcola trying to get on in the action. Pontello takes it up, pass off the boards just out of Pompos' reach, comes back to Borg. Woody Borg buying time, making sure everyone's onside, gaining some distance. Borg passes off to Robbins, held up by Pontello, and taken away. This is Chirico. Campos takes this one himself, will fire the shot just off to the right, picks up his own rebound, not even close to the net. Oh, when you have an opportunity like that, if you're Campos, you have to take advantage of it, have to be a little bit smarter with the puck there, have to give yourself a better chance at the shot. And right there, just carelessness on that second rebound shot really gave Mockberry a break. Browser flips this one up, intended for Robbins, goes just out of his reach, comes back over to Chirico. Puck coming back to Ricci. From Campos, this is Lafriri. Gets it cleared out back into the Black Ace zone. Lussman taken away by Lafriri. Looking to set up to Rossi. Dominici gets a stick in there. Rebounded by Lafriri. Popped up high. Back is to Rossi. Rossi in the corner looking for options. Gets into the end. Defended by two Black Ace defenders as it gets out to Galgay. Tipped, intercepted by Campos. Another shot wide to the right. Oh, and I'm telling you right now, the shots are going to be difficult to reach. And when you look at those shots, Campos has so many chances right now. He's only shooting himself in the foot. McDonald's shot backfired, taken away by Lafriri. Lafriri on the move. He's got Campos far side. Lafriri with the shot himself, knocked off by Barry. Angelo Pontello back on the ice, steps up, looks over for Sincata, and an offsides call. Campos just misses over the blue line. Sincata was getting ready for an attack opportunity, but again, just the mishandling of position. An offsides call will result in both teams on a lineup change. Well, right now, Angelo, when we look at this game with 5:37 in the opening period, you have to wonder, is this just another one of those situations where the Black Aces are just biding their time, waiting for a chance to go up, or are they really being shut down by Pontello and this Blue Bomber squad? And as you mentioned, the shutdown factor there, Lafriri almost putting in another goal to make it 2-0. Borg trying to fire the shot. Arsakovic comes in and knocks it away. Woody Borg again with the end-to-end rushes, lets that momentum carry him, and he slides right through two Blue Bomber defenders, giving himself an opportunity, but that's the basis of Woody Borg, and you have to find a way to contain that as well. Very tricky, very elusive he can be, Woody Borg, and it's just a matter of somebody stepping up and helping him out. This puck goes all the way back in the Black Ace, and Arden Robbins will step up and pick it up. Off the pass board, just Chirico shot fired. Off to the side, Chirico with his own rebound, looking for Spizik. Again, it's out of his reach, and here comes Ricci for the Black Aces. Pounce off the boards. This is Woody Borg. Right side, working around Pompos. Shot fired and knocked off by Arsakovic. Rebounded by Pompos. Blue Bombers on the move as it gets out to Rossi. Rossi finds Chirico. Chirico on the move, only Browser back. Defended well. Shot chance just off to the right side by Chirico, but again picks up his rebound, working against Browser. Out to Ricci. And out of the reach of Hartley McDonald, and it's going to head all the way back for the icing call. The Black Aces right now just out of sync, Angelo. I can see it developing already. The passes are getting there, but they're just not connecting to their recipients. You see Hartley McDonald just now coming out on a breakaway opportunity chance. Had Ricci connected with him, that could have been a real dangerous opportunity for the Black Aces. And right now they regroup and have to find another way to get it up. This is Lafriri. Lafriri looking for Rossi, and instead goes back to Ricci again. Tipped back by Sincata, taken away by Rossi. Shot fired, knocked away by Barry. Rossi, taken away by Lussman, biding his time. Off the boards, and Lussman instead dumps it out, and it's going to go all the way back for the icing call. You know, unless if you're going to be making a complete lineup change, not exactly sure about that decision to just dump it all the way back there. That just killed yourself an opportunity, and you just gave the Blue Bombers another chance to work in your own zone to extend the lead. 3.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Blue Bombers up 1-0 over the Black Aces. And when we look at this matchup, Andy, you know, can't help but wonder, it's really a toss-up between which one of these two teams is going to win. It really is going to ultimately come down to the last shot. But, you know, we had a chance to talk to Mike Ricci earlier, and one of the things he said is one of the situations in this game and how well the Blue Bombers play, you can't help but feel like the Black Aces are the underdogs in this case. Well, of course, I mean, you come off of a shootout loss to the Grey Wolves, and you're going up against a Blue Bomber squad that just works in sync and in motion and just plays well together as a team, that they can't help but feel like underdogs. Pontello's shot just missed off by Barry. Puck comes back to Pontello, deflected by Lussman. Robbins trying to get it away from Blue Bombers. Back to Pontello, shot fired, bouncing puck around, and Barry just gets it out to Dominici in time. And so Dominici clears it out, comes back for an icing call. But you gotta admit that pressure is coming in key for this Blue Bomber squad. Now remember, Angelo, like you were mentioning earlier, there's 8 players for the Blue Bombers. The last thing they need to do is put all their eggs in one basket here early in this game, only for the Black Aces to come back and have an opportunity to finish them off. Again, Black Aces have enough for 2 full lines, and for the Blue Bombers, it's about 8. Woody Borg diving his way through, looking for a chance to fire a shot, arced away by Arsakovic. What a stop there for the young over 50 man. That really was an exceptional stop. You could see Angelo Pontello, he lost control of the puck. Woody Borg was there trying to take advantage of it, and that was a big stop by Arsakovic. Pontello gets around Ricci. Skates back around, will clear it out and into the end of the Black Aces as it comes back over to Woody Borg. Browser gets it out and away. Ricci looking for McDonald. Tapped down by Lafriri, taken away by Pontello, and this is Lafriri with the puck. Off the boards to Chirico. Chirico can't get, or as Chirico comes through, Spizik unable to get back in time. Offsides call upcoming for the Blue Bombers. The key thing right now, Angelo, is pressure, pressure, pressure if you're the Blue Bombers. It's already, again, we can't stop mentioning it, they're down, they have a disadvantage in terms of the depth because they don't have 2 full lines. So with this 1-0 lead, I mean, obviously you want to go and get some more goals, but at a certain point, you just have to make sure, again, if you're Pontello, keep it away from Woody Borg and force the Black Aces to work and give yourself as much comfort room as you can. And part of that is going to be the pressure. Puck just past Chirico. Arsakovic keeps it away. This is back to Pontello. Pontello finds Lafriri. Forces the Blue Bombers to regroup just out of the reach of Tom Buchholz. Woody Borg regroups in his own way back in the Black Ace zone. Borg looking to get on the move, bounces back over to Browser as we're in the final minute of this opening period. Browser back to Woody Borg. Soft pass gets around to Browser, and Browser gonna shoot it right on Chirico as Chirico tries to get this one cleared away, now cleared up by Rossi. Puck back to Woody Borg. Borg giving himself some distance. Regrouped. Heavily pressured by Pontello. Knocked back in the Blue Bombers' end. This is back to Keith Pace. This one off the boards. Browser forced to get back. Browser gets it around Rossi. Has a few seconds to make a shot, and he fires the shot. Arsakovic there for the glove save as time expires. But more hockey action left to go. This was just the beginning, and this is only the beginning. You're right, absolutely right, Angelo. We are in for a real surprise here. 2 more periods of just on-nose, good quality hockey. Really can't wait to see what the next 2 periods offer us, but right now if the Blue Bombers can just keep this momentum up in the pressure, the Black Aces are gonna have a long day. 1-0 our scoreline, courtesy of a Brian Pompos goal. And we'll have more to you on the other side of this break on the Pontello Broadcasting Network. So as we begin the second period, Blue Bombers up 1-0 over the Black Aces. But so far in some scoring updates in the earlier game today, the Red Army finally come away with their first win of the fall 2019 season after a 5-4 shootout victory over the Grey Wolves. After, again, the Grey Wolves came up with the big upset last week over the Black Aces in the shootout, but it's this time they couldn't handle it against the Red Army. Well, congratulations to Todd Duncan and his squad. This was a much-needed victory to try to get themselves back in contention here to return for the playoffs and to continue their quest for a three-peat. And it's just a matter of how they're going to finish the rest of this season. Barry's shot. Check that. Barry with a save off of a shot by Lafreri. And so once again, faceoff convenes deep in the Black Ace zone. And another offensive opportunity for the Blue Bombers. Spizik shoots it all the way back to his keeper, Narsakovic. Finds Shariko opposite end looking for Sinkata. Now to Spizik. This one comes back around to Lussman in his own zone and dumps it right back to Shariko and the Blue Bombers. This is Lafreri. His shot fired. Rebounded by Lafreri. Barry looking at Holden strong. And he does with that stop. And that's the key thing for the Blue Bombers. You just have to continue shooting on net. And that was something that Tom Buchholz, the captain, said in our interview earlier in the week, that they just have to keep shooting if they're going to be looking for bountiful success against the Black Aces. That's the key thing on Mark Barry, is you've got to keep shooting on this man and something's going to go in ultimately. You can't have success if you've had limited opportunities. Borg stripped away by Lafreri. This is back to Pompos in the far corner looking for Rossi, stripped away by Borg. Shariko dumps it into the Black Ace end as it comes back over to Browser. Off the skate of Lafreri, this is Pontello to Shariko. And it's back to Robbins. Dumps it in the Blue Bomber end. Pontello retrieving the puck, showing pressure off of Kola. Pontello intercepted by Borg. His shot on net, bouncing off of Arsakovic, and it gets knocked out of the Blue Bomber zone. Oh, a real interesting bounce there. Blue Bombers very lucky they were able to contain that one. Arsakovic working on his toes here today. Mario Arsakovic tied for first in fewest goals allowed thus far in the fall 2019 season with 10. Borg on the move. Pontello is back. Borg feeds it out to Robbins, can't contain it. And that's what we're talking about, Andy. That's going to be a struggle for the Black Aces. If they don't have somebody that can step up with Woody Borg, it's going to be a long day for this Ace squad. Yeah, and right there, you can't make any more of a perfect pass on that 2-on-1 session. Pontello anticipated that Borg was going to ultimately look for that pass, and Arden Robbins right on his stick, and it just went off. And that's a huge victory for the Blue Bombers. Ricci dumps it back into the end of the Blue Bombers as it gets off to Sinkata with 9:27 in the second period. Still a 1-0 contest in favor of the Blue Bombers, trying to give the Black Aces their first regulation loss of the season to stay afloat as the perfect team outright thus far in the fall 2019 season. As Pontello, in his own end, is on the move. Off to the boards. And this one comes back for an icing call. You know, that's going to be key too, is if you're the Blue Bombers, if when in doubt, dumping it is not necessarily a bad idea, if you will. I mean, it's one of those things where it gives you a chance to breathe, but do keep in mind that the Black Aces are also already in control, and like we keep mentioning, very advantageous in the depth right now with 2 full lines. So McDonald and Woody Borg both on the ice at the moment as Borg gets it around to Ricci. Black Aces coming up with that, looking to come up with the equalizing goal as it gets out to Browser, blocked by Spizik as it bounces back on the far side to Galgate. Finds McDonald. McDonald looking the other way, trying to find Woody Borg. Instead fires the shot on net, and Arsakovic is there for the glove save. And so now with this lineup change, this is going to be advantageous because, again, Woody Borg and Hartley McDonald are off the ice now. And coming into this game, you have Tom Lafriri and Mike Rossi. If you're the Blue Bombers, you need to take advantage of this matchup and find a way to score. Puck gets back to Dominici. Shot fired. Stopped by Arsakovic. So take 2 on the faceoff deep in the Blue Bombers' end. As we talk about matchups and advantages, Andy, these teams definitely know how to put up offenses for sure, as the Black Aces with 38 total points on the season, first in the over 50 Hockey League, followed by the Blue Bombers at 35 points total. And for those trying to figure out what points are, that's goals and assists combined for a grand total of points. And it's very key for both the goals and assists, and part of that reason why is because they find ways to create the plays which include those assists. Well, anytime you get goals and assists involved, that usually indicates that it's a team effort that gets the job done versus one individual trying to take it all himself and not use his teammates. 7:49 in the second period. Black Ace is trying to jab it in. And that time, Arsakovic holds his own. And so it appears that an extra puck happened to fall right down into the rink, as one of the pucks was just being contained by the corner net in our iSports Forum North rink. And so that time, just a little notification for the referees as Dominici's shot bounces off of Arsakovic, rebounded by the Black Aces. Borg. Or check that. Galgate gets it back to McDonald. Hartley McDonald with severe pressure from Rossi as it gets picked up by Pontello. Angelo Pontello on the move. Only Lussman and Dominici back. Makes a nice move. Breakaway chance. Pontello puts it through. Are you kidding me? You can't get any better than that when you look at a move there. Well, it was all about advantages, and like we said, Angelo, when you don't see a Woody Borg out there, you have to take advantage, and to have Lussman and Dominici out there, it's a pretty bad matchup when you have Angelo Pontello on the move, and right there, that is a big advantage for them, and what a way to keep things rolling. 2-0 our scoreline, 7:17 in the second period. Angelo Pontello now with his 4th goal on the season, trying to keep things rolling, but what a move. Probably, that's got to be easily one of the top plays of the season if we had to take a vote. Well, no question about that, but as we look at Angelo Pontello's ability to score, there's also Woody Borg as well, and he's done such as many goals. And right now for the Black Ace fans here, they're looking to see something similar from their own man in Woody Borg. But right now, the Black Aces have to figure out what they're going to do on offense. Black Aces trail 2-0 to the Blue Bombers with 6:54 to go in the second period. Here at the iSports Forum's North Rink, face-off deep in the zone. Borg shot fired, deflected off of Pontello. Blue Bombers trying to remain perfect outright, as are the Black Aces without getting a regulation loss, as referees blow the whistle. Hartley McDonald trying to get an extra opportunity in there, could not, was held up by the Blue Bombers. And now teams will make some changes. Rossi checks back in for the Blue Bombers, and right now, if you're looking at matchups and looking for your advantages, Rossi and Angelo Pontello on the same ice is another dangerous matchup. From what we looked at so far this season, they can be a deadly combo as well, but that is pretty much what you're going to see from the offense, because again, with how Tom Buchholz put this team together, it was going to be all defensive, but right now, this offense is really shining for the Blue Bombers. Just consistent pressure has been key. Rossi shot, bounces off of Barry, taken away by Browser. Browser off the boards. Rossi shot into the side net and puts another one in for the Blue Bombers. And if you look at the way they're just moving together now, this defense has really backfired. But again, when you've had all these weeks to kind of prepare for the teams, this is a whole lot different than if these two teams would have met in, say, week 1, and you're trying to figure out how their team's going to be. But right now, with the way this Black Ace squad is put together, is primarily offense, and if there's not some offensive strides going, the defense is going to lack. Borg, fire shot, deflected by Pontello. Borg with his own rebound, looking to set it back up to Kola, could not make the connection as it gets back over to Browser. This is to Robbins. Robbins now back over to Borg, dangerously close to the crease, almost had a chance to put that one in as it gets taken away by LaFreary. This one back to Browser, trying to regroup. Picked up by LaFreary, he's on the move all by himself on the right side. Pace looking to come back, and the shot just off to the left side. Rebounded by Borg. 2 defenders back for the Blue Bombers. Borg trying to make a move around Pontello. Looking for a man to pass it off to, will take it himself. Borg in the Blue Bomber end. Off into the Blue Bomber end, now back to retrieve it is Robbins. Shot fired on net, and Arsakovic there for the stop. And right now, there has just simply been no answer from the Black Ace team that has just been doing anything they can to get things rolling. And right now, like we mentioned, on point, because Pontello is canceling out Woody Borg, you need somebody like Hartley McDonald to step up, and right now he is struggling to take that next step for them, and this Black Ace team is suffering because of it. Well, unless if you're going to have somebody else on this Black Ace squad step up, such as Mike Ricci or say Keith Pace or just another one of these names, you know, it's going to be a long day for this Black Ace squad. They got to find somebody that can start producing on the offensive side, and they got to do it fast with 4:42 in the second. And I think that might have been the first step right there, Andy. Mike Ricci backhands this one off the skate of Arsakovic, and the Black Aces are on the board. Well, like you said, Angelo, that is a start there, and when you have Mike Ricci in the mix, someone had to step it up for the Black Aces, and right now they only trail by 2 once again. McDonald and Buchholz on the face-off. Pompos pushing it forward for the Blue Bombers. This is knocked away by Barry. Lussman stripped by LaFreary. Blue Bombers with an advantage here as it comes around over to Galge. Gets it off to Ricci. Finds an open McDonald on the left side. Hartley McDonald just high of the net. And it gets around to Ricci. Chirico passes it off to the other end to Pompos. Pompos off the boards. This is out to Buchholz. As it gets around to Chirico, just shot off the left side. As it gets around again, Blue Bombers trying to get another advantageous chance. Dominici taken away by LaFreary. Open chance here. Shot fired into the net again. And LaFreary extends the lead. You know, at this point, Angelo, we might just start even contemplating, are they just getting unlucky with the passes? Because right now, the passes have just been off for this Black Ace squad, and right there, that was just out of the frying pan, or yeah, out of the frying pan into the fire, whatever that analogy is. But right there, the Blue Bombers really did just an excellent job of capitalizing right there. LaFreary As soon as he had the puck, it was just him and Barry in the open net, had just enough room to pick his shot. And with that, the Blue Bombers come up. 3.5 minutes in the second period. Borg trying to punch this one through. The net comes off. It'll be up to the referees to see if that counts as a goal or if they're going to wave it off. And judging by the movement right now, it looks like because the net was off balance, it will not count as a goal. And so face-off will take place deep in the Blue Bomber zone. Arden Robbins, Mike Rossi go at it. This is back to Borg. Borg finding his shot, sucked in by Arsakovic for another stop. And again, give credit to Mario Arsakovic, who has not seen himself in this over 50 hockey league in a long while. One of the reasons why he holds the fewest goals in over 50 hockey this season. Well, that's going to be something that you have a lot of pride in doing, and in big matchups such as the Black Aces, you know, whether it's the offensive side or a defensive effort, he has just done a tremendous job with the stop. What a glove save by Arsakovic! As we continue to talk about this young man, he is on fire, shutting down Woody Borg and this Black Ace offense. How many more exciting plays are we going to witness? This is why it is the game of the week. This is real exciting hockey we're seeing right now. And it has the, oh my, I'm getting jitters right now, Angelo, just looking at this. So anywhere Arsakovic is, just practically denying the Black Aces has been just a complete effort. McDonald trying to stop Pontello. Pontello in the Black Ace zone. Far side is Pontello, now in the Black Ace end, flips it back. And this one knocked high. Borg chasing after the puck. Pontello trying to get to it first, and he gets it out of Borg's reach. Rossi trying to move this one up. Gets it around McDonald. Rossi still on the move. On the right side, Blue Bombers trying to work quickly. Flips up to LaFleury, and Mark Barry is there. And they'll stop. The whistle has been blown. Pontello trying to tap it in, but was beat out by the referee's whistle.
Blew the whistle.
And so whether you want to call that a premature whistle or a legitimate whistle, Mark Barry looked like he had possession at first of the puck. But who knows, referees have the better vantage view down there, and that's why we have to let them see and determine what's going on here before we make any judgments up here in the booth. Because really, with the way this game's been going, anything goes, and it's the possibilities that are there, and you expected both of these teams to be physical in this game. Again, two teams that are very similar in power, and like you mentioned, Angelo, right from the gate, a clash of power. I couldn't have made a better title of this game myself. Sincata out to Spizik. Now to LaFleury, center ice, shot fired, stopped by Barry, going on for the low save. So 2:04 in the second period. Blue Bombers with a 4-1 lead, just finding ways to continue to add on the pressure to these Black Aces. And other than Ricci's goal, the Black Aces just really haven't had a chance to respond offensively. And how can they when you have that consistent pressure and it's just a matter of trying to find your chances? Now, we are seeing a little more chances late in this second period from them, but they have to keep pressing on. They have to keep finding their advantages. There's always small cracks in any defense. Campos shoots it into Lussman, knocked out by Dominici. LaFleury biding his time. Shot redirected to Buchholz. Back is to LaFleury. Buchholz. Cola gets it cleared out for the Black Aces. And this one comes back over to Chirico. Dominici gets a stick in there trying to come up with an offensive possession. This one out to Cola, stopped by Chirico. Pontello back in his own end. Finds it open to Pompos, just couldn't connect. Lussman is back for the puck. Pressured by Rossi. Lussman now with a chance to regroup. Finds Dominici. Puck bounces back to LaFleury in the Black Ace zone. Dominici misses the puck. And he breaks his blade in the process. And that'll halt play. Or check that, is that a slashing penalty upcoming? As we're trying to get word now from referee Dave Collins, trying to figure out what the specific penalty is. And it looks like they're giving that penalty to Pete Dominici. Yeah, it's probably because they had to do with something with the stick. From what we've heard in house rules at the Ice Sports Forum, if a stick breaks and he's trying to go down and he breaks his stick and then there's more stick movement, I'm not exactly sure if he threw the stick or what the situation was, but that is grounds for unsportsmanlike, and that's an automatic 2 minutes in the box. 26 seconds in the second period. Open chance for Borg, sneaks it in. A short-handed goal that strikes gold for this Black Ace team. And just like that, with 23 seconds in the second period, they keep this a 2-goal scoring margin. And there they needed their 5-star man in Woody Borg, and he finds a way to put it in the net. Got it around Osakovic, and again, just with that speed of the shot, nobody was going to really be stopping that one. That was just a tremendous shot there for the Black Aces. Rossi trying to cancel out the goal, gets it back to Pontello. His shot, slow to fire. Pontello losing his stick, gets it out to Rossi. Shot fired, and he cancels out the goal.
You got an assist without a damn stick.
And so just when the Black Aces thought they had a chance to start gaining ground, the Blue Bombers come through and they score just before the buzzer. So with that, Rossi, with 2 goals in this game now, finds every advantage to keep this Blue Bombers up in a comfortable spot. And the day just gets longer for this Black Ace squad. Well, it's going to be interesting to see, because we've seen the capabilities of this Black Ace offense, and it's not over till it's over. But this third period, they're going to need to produce a lot of juice to get themselves back in the game. Fourth shot fired, and as time expires, Arsakovic comes up with another glove hand save, and that's how we head into second intermission. Blue Bombers up 5-2 over a Black Ace team trying to avoid their first regulation loss here at the Ice Sports Forum. So the Black Aces are ready to get back into action. Blue Bombers coming off the bench with a 5-2 lead in our Week 4 Game of the Week here on the Pontello Broadcasting Network, as Tom Buchholz will take the face-off against Arden Robbins. And Andy, as we look at this game, when you look at this, you look at the way these teams have battled, and it's just been absolutely strong and dominating. And you know where to begin. And it's like we mentioned before on the pregame. It's when you got 2 dynamite offenses going at it, in addition to this Blue Bomber defense, anything is possible. And right now, this Black Ace team trying to find a way to get back into the mix. But from what we've seen, and as we kind of break down both of these teams period by period, you know, coming into this game, the Blue Bombers, like you mentioned earlier, Angelo, last in the over 50 hockey league in goals scored in the first period. But then you look at a comparable difference in the second and third periods, where the Blue Bombers have 6 on the season in the second, and then 7 goals in the third period. Mike Rossi looking to keep things alive through the 5-hole, and that's exactly why they are tied for first with most goals in a third period. And that's Mike Rossi that contributes again, and he's got himself a hat trick. Right now, just a complete game by this Blue Bomber squad. Mike Rossi coming into the mix, and it's just a matter of who's going to step it up for any squad here. And right now, Rossi has really had a tremendous game so far, just finding ways to capitalize, and it's really showing for this Blue Bomber squad. 10:55 now in the third period, as the Blue Bombers extend their lead to 4 goals in what has been an absolute stunned silence here for the Black Aces fans here at the Ice Sports Forum. Well, it's part of that, but you look at the way these teams are operating, and again, you know, this defense for the Blue Bombers has really been finding ways to shut down Woody Borg, shut down what the Black Aces consider to be their offensive juggernaut. And right now, again, it's really difficult to try to put up any offense when they've also been shutting down Hartley McDonald as well. Woody Borg and Hartley McDonald lead the league in points on the season from an individual standpoint, and right now, Woody Borg has only been able to get on the board once with 1 goal. And Hartley McDonald just failing to register at this point. No pun intended, but at the same time, McDonald looking for an opportunity to add on to the scoreboard as well. Well, of course, it's one of those things where after this game, regardless of if it's a win or loss, you know the Black Aces are going to be looking back at this game, and it's just a matter of fixing a few things here and there, because you know they have the offense. It's finding a way to keep that offense alive when you have a stifling defense like the Blue Bombers. Browser gets back to Pontello, who clears it into his team's bench.
Do it. Whole time.
And so face-off coming back in the Blue Bomber zone, as it'll be Hartley McDonald and Tom Buchholz to take the face-off. Pontello clears it away for the Blue Bombers as it comes all the way back to Mark Berry. This puck around to Borg. Woody Borg on the move. Back into the Blue Bomber zone. Borg gets around Sincata. Borg looking for the pass back. Hits off the post. And rebounded by the Black Aces. Pontello off to the races on the far side. It's 2-on-1. Only Browser back. Pontello looking to take this one himself. Shot fired. Bounces off of Berry. Rebounded by Pontello in the Black Ace end. Pompos clears it out of the Black Ace zone where they're forced to regroup. This is Galgay. 3-on-1 for the Black Aces. Stripped loose by Sincata. Galgay back to McDonald in the corner. Blocked by Buchholz. Gets this one cleared out. And this one's coming all the way back in the Black Ace zone. Mitch Browser to retrieve it. Well, right now, not exactly sure if the Black Aces are out of juice or if it's just a matter of they're finding their time. But right now, the time is slipping away from them. 9:08 in regulation, and they have to start finding more ways to capitalize. Take a few steps to at least keep the puck consistent in the Blue Bomber zone, because right now, this Blue Bomber team is just finding any ways to continue to dominate on both sides of the puck. Chirico. Looking back, intended for Rossi. Just out of Berry's reach, trying to come up with the stop, but it's Pompos who gets it back in the corner. Rossi back to Pompos. Clean pass for Sincata. Slips up in the process as it gets taken away by Browser. Rossi putting pressure on Browser. This one coming all the way back to Lafriri. And so it appears that a too many men call is going to come up on the Blue Bombers. And that's at least a positive step for this Black Ace team looking for any hope of getting back in this one down 4 goals. Well, at this point, it's a matter of this is the first step that you're talking about. You have to score on this power play chance, and you have to find a way to keep the momentum rolling, because that is what's going to get you back in this one. And so as we look at who they have out there right now on the power play, Hartley McDonald is going to be key with Mike Ricci at right wing. We haven't seen those two lighted up as of recent, but now is a better time than never to find a way to at least get things rolling. Chirico gets it cleared back in the Black Ace end. Berry gets it around to Lussman. Ira Lussman finds Ricci far side. Ricci will move this one up into the Blue Bomber zone. Pass back over to Galgay. Galgay flips it up, bounce back over to him in the corner, looking for Dominici. Pete Dominici finding Galgay, still alive with the puck. Black Ace is trying to capitalize and gets punched back out. And so Lussman regroups for the Black Aces as the Blue Bombers get a few substitutions on the ice. Puck back to Dominici. Gets it around to Ricci. Pontello off the boards. Fires it back over to Lussman. Pontello finds Rossi, who dumps it out into the Black Ace end. Lussman back with the puck. Chirico showing pressure. Gets around Woody Borg, checks back onto the ice. 40 seconds in the power play as the Black Aces are still trying to find a way to capitalize off this potential power play chance. Stripped away by Pompos. Pace with the puck. Gets back to McDonald. Opportunity here is knocked away by Chirico. And Hartley McDonald throws a stick on Rossi, but Rossi is still alive with the puck. Has a chance to get this 4 goals, and he does! A shorthanded goal for the Blue Bombers, and they extend their lead to 7-2. Yeah, right now it's been all Blue Bombers here, and it's really starting to reflect their superiority, and they're making a statement right now saying they're in charge. And what a strong statement it's been to start off this fall 2019 series. Rossi, again with 4 goals in this game. And we knew Rossi was a good player, Andy, but I don't think nobody was anticipating him getting 4 goals against a team like the Black Aces. Well, I mean, sometimes you never know what can happen. And, you know, like we mentioned before, you know, this is over 50 hockey. Any given Sunday, we can see something happen, you know, a player step up. And for Mike Rossi right now, you have to admit, you have to anticipate somebody like him to step it up for the Blue Bombers when it was going to be Angelo Pontello focusing more on shutting down Woody Borg. And you look at this mix right now, and it really starts to show that this is a complete Blue Bomber team, because anyone can step it up and start playing and fend for themselves if they need to. Borg trying to get it rolling, but instead backhanded by Buchholz. Shot deflected off of Barry. This is back to Browser. Lafriri biding some time, gets back to Rossi. Sincata off the skate of Lafriri. This is back to Rossi. Pontello off the boards. This is to Rossi again. Winds up for the shot and stopped by Barry for the save. And so face-off will take place deep in the Black Ace zone. 5:18 to go in regulation. Blue Bombers up 7-2 over this Black Ace squad, as Rossi will take the face-off against McDonald. Spizik. Galgay. Ricci with advantage, looking on the far side, working around Pontello, and is stopped as Orsakovic is there for the shot attempt by Ricci. Well, that's a really good effort by Ricci with Angelo Pontello on him to still find a way to get off that shot. And that is anything you can do right now to still give you a chance to get some more goals on the board. And that's what you got to do. As more goals on the board, Gary Spizik comes through and adds one himself. And that'll put us into running clock here at the Ice Sports Forum as Spizik capitalizes. Well, that's just his 2nd goal of the season, and Gary Spizik is another one of those players where you sometimes tend to underestimate, and if you don't give him his opportunity due, you know, it's going to come back and it could hurt you the wrong way if your opponents. And that was a key addition there. We had a chance to talk to Tom Buchholz and the draft advisory for them, and one of the key things that they were mentioning was if you give Spizik an opportunity to display his showcase and his talents, you know, he could be a real vital player for his team, a detriment for the offense. I'll check that for the opponents, if you will. Buchholz biding time. Buchholz gets it around to Pontello. Angelo Pontello looking for Lafriri. Lafriri trying to capitalize, and McDonald flips it up And stopped by Angelo Pontello before Ricci could break away with it. Well, you have to be a little bit smarter. You know Angelo Pontello is going to be skating all around the ice. The passes have to be a little bit sharper and with a little more zip and speed to it to give yourself that opportunity for a breakaway chance. Galgay trying to make some moves around the defense. Stripped away. Here comes Rossi in his corner. Lafriri looking for Pompos. Board takes it away for the Black Aces. Borg biding his time. 3 minutes in regulation. 8-2 is the score line in favor of the Blue Bombers as Arden Robbins tries to find an opportunity off the side looking for Keith Pace and is blocked away by the defense. This one gets back around over to Browser, has to regroup for the Black Aces. Campos off the boards. This is back to Browser. And his shot fired. Goes off to the left side by Arsakovic. Sincata. Back is to Pompos looking for Rossi. Rossi feeds it up to Lafriri. 3-on-2 for the Blue Bombers. Still looking for ways to add on. And his shot sucked in by Barry for the save. So even now, with a rolling clock, the Blue Bombers still trying to get every chance they can to score more goals. And the Black Aces are doing everything they can to prevent this game from going to 9 goals. So Blue Bombers getting ready to get set in the Black Ace zone. As it'll be Hartley McDonald and Tom Buchholz on the faceoff. Puck passed back by Spizik. Pontello puts it in the Black Ace end. This puck to Browser, off the boards, and it gets back over to Pontello. Pontello clears it out back into the Black Ace end as it gets around to Browser. Browser tipped away by a Blue Bomber stick. Pompos puts it in the Black Ace zone. Galgay now looking for options. Pass off the boards to Ricci. Has some room on the far side for the Black Aces. Misses the pass to McDonald, and this is Buchholz. Buchholz looking to skate this one up to Spizik. Gary Spizik, only Browser back. And Browser able to dispossess Spizik of the puck. Good effort there by Mitch Browser. You still have to keep fighting hard even in this final minute, as Borg is going to look for a chance to get one more on the board. Borg, his pass. Ricochet all the way to the far side as it gets over to Buchholz. Spizik looking to locate the puck. And he'll clear it into the Black Ace end. Puck comes back to Rossi and the Black Ace end. Taken away by Borg. 16 seconds as there's 3 defenders back for the Blue Bombers. Borg winds up for the shot just off to the right side. Pace gets the rebound for the Black Aces. Shot fired, popped high, and gets back over to McDonald. Hartley McDonald looking for options. And time expires as this was a big win for the Blue Bombers in fitting fashion. I knew this was going to be a tough game, but I don't think anyone was anticipating this big of a blowout for the Blue Bombers to get 8 goals on the board. And for a team that usually keeps in check with every other team in this league, they made a strong statement here against this Black Ace team today. A lot for the Black Aces to think about as they head into next week, as the Black Aces drop to 2-1-1 on the season. Blue Bombers improved to 4-0 on the fall 2019 season. But at this point, Andy, this game goes to show you that the Blue Bombers are unanimously the team to beat this season in fall 2019 hockey. Oh, no doubt about that. And at first, everyone was saying it was the Black Aces because they saw Woody Borg and Hartley McDonald in the mix along with Mike Ricci. You see that offense, and it's in all actuality, Angelo, that's a really tough offense to beat. But then when you start to see the holes in the defense, you got to find a way to make up for that. And clearly in this game, the Blue Bombers did everything they could to capitalize on the defense. Continued pressure, no chances to really gain some offensive opportunities. And again, that was the key today, is Angelo Pontello on Woody Borg. And that was a smart plan for the Blue Bombers that played a significant key to their victory here today. And so with that, we do know that the Blue Bombers play the Gray Wolves next week. As, again, it was a rough time for Woody Borg and this Black Ace squad. And again, sometimes it happens. Well, of course, you know, they're going to have an opportunity to meet again in 5 weeks. And, you know, we expect to see that series to be just as competing as we saw today in terms of the aggressive factors and the physical efforts from both squads. But for the Black Aces, they now know what they need to do to get themselves in contention, and they know now that the Blue Bombers are the team to beat, and they have every opportunity they can. They just have to retweak a few things in the strategy, and I expect them to be back on their feet rebounding next week. So with that, we want to thank everybody for tuning into our Game of the Week, and make sure to follow us on ISF Over 50 Hockey on our Facebook page for all announcements, as well as standings, updates, and results of our Over 50 hockey seasons. We also have the games available on our YouTube channel, the Pontello Broadcasting Network. Or if you're looking for more stat opportunities from the venue itself, you can always head to www.theisportsforum.com, as they will also have the standings, rosters, and updates for you as well. So for my co-partner, Andy Townsend, I'm Angelo Pontello saying so long, good night, and we hope everybody has a blessed week. Take care, everyone. We'll see you back here next time.